In this video, some of the questions that we tackle are: how do you find motivation and passion in pharmacy school when your parents force you into the profession and you're not too crazy about the school? How Alicia met most of the pediatric pharmacists in Boston. If Alicia would do a 0 to 6 program versus a bachelor then going into a pharmacy graduate program, and how some students finish pharmacy school in 5 years, and whether you should do it or not. Hey yo, what up guys? It's your boy Kevin Yee the PharmD, aka Kevin the Refugee, and today I have a special guest. I feel like every guest I say is special, Alicia Tran. But honestly, I don't even remember how we met. If you don't know, she actually goes to my school, MCPHS University, but she goes to a Boston campus. It's a 0 to 6 program, meaning you go in straight from high school. One thing that Alicia does a lot is she's really involved with the community. She's volunteered in Haiti. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoy. As always, timestamps are below. Also, you can speed up the video if it's too long as well. I'll put instructions below. Yeah guys, you can 2x the video. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace, mother people. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. What up guys, it's your boy Kevin Yee the PharmD. Today I have a mother special guest. I have the Alicia Tran from MCP, my old stomping grounds.
You're lucky to be done.
I know. What year are you, by the way?
My first year of pharmacy school, so like third year. I'm a third year.
Is it your first professional year?
Yeah.
Okay. And you go to the Boston program, the like traditional, that's awesome, dude.
Yep. The same one that you did, right?
No, I went to Worcester.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I went to accelerated program.
Oh, right, because you didn't go 0 to 6. You went to you got your bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
For y'all that don't know, when she says 0 to 6, you know, a lot of people have the option to go straight from high school to pharmacy school, and they can do it in 6 years. But for me, I did it. Did 4 years of my bachelor's, and then did 3 years of accelerated pharmacy school. So, but yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted you on was because I really like your attitude and your positivity on your Instagram, your Facebook and all that. It seems like you really have a really strong passion for pharmacy. So I sort of wanted to just share that with everyone, you know?
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people say that, but yeah. It's funny because I never really wanted to go into pharmacy.
What?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, my aunt graduated from the school. That's how I knew about it. And she works at Kaiser now in NorCal. I kind of applied to MCP and a bunch of East Coast pharmacy schools just for the heck of it. And it was supposed to be
Did your parents or family force you to do pharmacy, or how did you even get into it?
Both of my parents, they both didn't go to college. So it was kind of a driving force to you want to get a job that, where you can support yourself. So
yeah.
But for me, I think going to MCP, it was totally, it wasn't the college experience I necessarily wanted, right? I wanted a college with sports and a lot of school spirit.
Yeah.
So
total opposite.
Sports teams. Yeah, exact opposite.
For people that don't know, it's what MCP Boston is one building. There's no sports teams, no nothing. It's a commuter school. People go in and they just leave out half the time. So
that was really different. And I feel going to MCP, you kind of have to grow up a little bit faster especially if you're in a 0 to 6 program where you don't get a bachelor's degree. For me, I have to be passionate about what I'm doing. Otherwise I can't be going to pharmacy school and not be motivated. I kind of had to force myself to love pharmacy, and I'm a big people person. So, and obviously pharmacy isn't usually a job that people see as a lot of patient interaction. So even when I went to Haiti, I love helping people and those in impoverished countries. That's why, I went through the nonprofit Hands Up for Haiti, which I, found out through the school, which is nice, or online. And there's a guy who's a few years older than me who went. So him talking about it with me really helped. But there, working in medical clinics in Haiti, we don't get to see a lot of patients, at least when it comes to patient interaction. The doctors and nurses get a lot of patient interaction. But through volunteering, I was kind of able to see how important pharmacy is. Because just the different dosings for an adult versus a child, and people in Haiti, they're people aren't as educated in Haiti. So like the pharmacist I worked with Haitian, he's amazing. But he, I've been told like his education is that of like a pharmacy intern here. So
wow.
It's my goal. Yeah. So it's my goal that like I get like the degree and like can go back and like teach. Because I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it's really cool seeing the American and Canadian doctors and nurses go to Haiti and like teach them, what they learn.
So let me rewind for a second. So you go into pharmacy school, you're not that passionate about it. Your parents tell you they want you to do a career which you can support yourself, right?
Right.
So you go into pharmacy school. So when you go apply to this Haiti program, so when you applied, were you just like totally passionless about pharmacy, or what was the whole story behind that? How did you find like this program, and what made you want to go to Haiti to begin with?
What kind of got me into pharmacy was like pharmacy clubs. Like I remember it was October, right? We get in school in September. In October, I go to like my first APHA event, and I get an email, and it's like, oh, like it's pharmacy month. So, right? And so and I met a bunch of like upperclassmen who I still like, even though they're like 6 years or like they've graduated, it's just cool, like, just talking to them still, and like they're just great support. But it was like, pharmacy month, and it was a video, and it was in the lab, and I was wearing a white coat as a first year. So it was weird, but I got to kind of see like what the different aspects of pharmacy was. So I'm like, oh, okay, so there's more than just like standing behind a counter.
Before you like went to pharmacy school and all that, what do you imagine pharmacy school would be like?
Well, if you read the reviews of MCP, there's that. And it's funny because like I'm like a student leader, so I can't, I try to be positive, and like as an RA, and like I was an orientation leader for 2 years, so I do respect for the school. I have a lot of respect, especially for like, because this video is going to go out, so
you don't want to get kicked out of school and stuff, bashing on school and whatnot.
And the Center for Campus Life does a lot to try to make it like a like like the other, like a typical college, with like being able to go to sports games and like school spirit. So they do what they can.
I have to agree too. Like even at my campus and stuff, no one was very like, yeah, I'm proud I'm from MCP and stuff like that. Right. Usually when people like, I see a lot of USC students out here, and they're like pretty prideful about their school and whatnot. I mean, legit, like I knew some of the like campus life people, and they tried really, really hard, with what they had. I mean, even though it's not your dream scenario, you just try to make the most out of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like you did a lot of research, so then you were just like, oh, I know what I'm gonna expect going into this, right? I
was like in the most negative like mood, but like when you go in for like orientation, and like all the orientation leaders are so nice, and like meeting my RA, like she's super nice, and she's like one of my really good friends now. Yeah. So like I think getting involved is kind of what keeps me going. It's funny because people are like, oh, like you love pharmacy. I'm like, honestly, I still have doubts, and like I'm going into like, I just started the professional years, and I still have doubts, but it's like I'm already here, like it's a lot of money, going to the school, so I just need to try to finish. Like
what you're telling me too is like really important, because I tell people this all the time. When I went into pharmacy, much like you, I was just doing it just because it was stable. Like I just wanted to have a comfortable life for myself. But when I actually started practicing, I freaking hated it. I hated it so much. But through that, you have to find, if you're gonna make it, because we all have student loans, right? If you're gonna make it, you have to find something that you really like about it, and just like really embrace it. And for me, it was like my patients, it was my interns, it was the people aspect behind pharmacy that made it worth it for me. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Let's talk about Haiti. What do you exactly do in Haiti? So we go to like different areas throughout the community. So it's a different clinic, like basically every day. So we wake up around, I want to say 6:37, and it's different. We live like, we sleep under mosquito nets. There's not a lot of electricity. You have to make sure that you're not using the faucet water, because it's contaminated. So you have to make sure you use bottled water. But yeah, we go to a medical clinic basically each and every day, and we have the opportunity to like teach. For me, the reason why I wasn't really into pharmacy at first was because I'm like, I really like the preventative side of like health. So like, which is basically like public health, That's why nutrition was really important, teaching that. Because you obviously, like, if you eat right, that can help prevent like certain diseases in the future. So it was really cool seeing like the Haitian, like just people just be like excited or like very astonished to like
see how many like teaspoons are in a Coca-Cola and see them like really
sugar and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think if it's correct, Google the one that I always show is like 10 teaspoons.
Yeah.
And then it's cool because like they'll be drinking like sodas or like really bad like fruit juices or whatever, and then they read and after that, because we go over like nutrition labeling, they like read to see how many grams are in their in their soda. So that's cool, like seeing them just be a little bit more reflective on like what they're eating. So yeah, that's pretty much just medical clinics and teaching, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's like great point that you're making. Like even as an intern, you can make a huge impact on people too. So you taught them that there's 36 grams of sugar in a can of Coke. What else do you teach them?
Well, about the different vitamins. I don't know. It's like for me, I'm still in pharmacy school, so still learning. Yeah. So it would be funny because like sometimes I'll have like the wrong picture or like it would be wrong, and then the doctor would be like, no, actually that's not the right vitamin. I'm like, but you just keep on going. But I think the biggest thing I think is showing them, even like now, because I'm in a club called like FASCO, Faculty and Student Community Outreach, where we kind of do the same thing. We go out to like different community centers. So like in Haiti, we go to like churches or like a place where, it's a community center. Mm-hmm. So just seeing like, oh, is this healthy? Or like, candy or like fruit, seeing what they choose. Yeah. Because it's unfortunate, but like in Haiti, there's not a lot of food options. Like here, we can go to the supermarket and we have like plethora of like food options. In Haiti, there's not that option, but at least, with that knowledge, you can try to pick out the healthy foods. So
yeah, they can at least be aware of the choices that they're making, even though it might be limited, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So when you got something wrong, how did you handle that? Like, let's say if you're like, I don't know, if you're like talking about a medication and you're like, oh, lisinopril is for, I don't know, erectile dysfunction or something like that. Like, how would you handle that situation when you're just...
I feel like when it comes to nutrition or like whatever health topic I'm discussing and something's wrong, I always try to make a joke out of it. Yeah. Hopefully, like that doesn't happen in the pharmacy. I'm still learning my drugs, so yeah. But hopefully it doesn't happen in the pharmacy. But yeah, I always joke about it.
But I think we all everyone makes mistakes in the pharmacy at some time and whatnot. So it's important to just I think some pharmacists I know, they never want to be wrong or anything like that. But like really embracing it is very important too, because you're not always going to be 100% right. Sometimes I look up half the stuff, like I don't remember certain drugs. I don't remember certain MOAs. I definitely don't know all the interactions like that exist ever. You know what I mean? But that's why they always say in pharmacy school, being able to look things up really quickly is the most important skill, which it definitely is, And I think one last thing to talk about Haiti, I think is really cool that you just like, more than just the knowledge that you gave to them, I think you give them hope that people actually care about them, man.
Totally. And I hope I'm like, I don't know if I can go this year, but I hope I continue, because I feel like that's kind of what motivates me, honestly, because it's hard when I'm studying like biochem and like these subjects I don't necessarily like have a passion for, I'm really excited about, but just seeing like what my like profession can do for people in the future, I think that's what motivates me, because at least like being a pharmacist in the future, I know I'll have like a role on a medical team,
purpose. And I definitely see you being that type to do medical missions in the future.
Thank you. Hopefully. Different places too, that'd be cool.
Yeah, let's talk about like how you found out like what you wanted to do specifically in pharmacy. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I've always liked kids, so I was like, oh, like I'm definitely gonna do pediatrics. But like there's obviously like a bunch of different avenues that I'm still learning about. But I think this is a really funny story. But so I was so into like pediatrics, and I volunteered at Boston Children's, and I couldn't get someone to like shadow at Boston Children's. You think it would be easy because I volunteer there, but like some pharmacists I guess aren't willing to.
Yeah. Really?
But some I guess aren't interested in. But so LinkedIn, so I basically added as many pediatric pharmacists as I could that work at Boston Children's. And then this amazing doctor, her name's Elena Wong, she like accepted it. And then I basically slid into her in
DMs.
And I literally wrote her like a letter, like you know, like what else? I just starting pharmacy school. I'm wondering if I can, you know, shadow you. And I think she was like perfect. She was like super nice, and she like introduced me to every single person that we saw. She's like, yeah, this is Alicia. Like, she just wants to make sure that pharmacy is for her.
Yeah.
You know, because she understood where I was coming from. But she went to Northeastern, and she's been working at Boston Children's for 9 years. And so basically what she does, she's a pharmacist for the pulmonary disease clinic.
Okay.
And so she's basically like an ambulatory care pharmacist because, well, she did it 1 year, her PGY1, I believe, at the VA in Massachusetts. But what I liked was that it was different. It's like she, you know, the doctors and nurses basically go into each room, and then you know, each room where the patient is, and then she'll go into that room. So it's very like one-on-one. So it was really sad because like the people there, like the few patients I saw, like they had like cystic fibrosis, but it was really inspiring because like they know their meds, like, you know, like at the back of their hand. Their parents know their medications. They take a lot, you know, and yeah, but it was really cool seeing her interact with them, really get to know them. But I think the highlight of it was when she helped the dad get gas cards. And I've always admired social workers, like ever since I've learned about what they can do like in hospitals. And I think the social worker was on maternity leave, so she helped a dad get gas cards. And it was really cool. You know, she just got to, you know, use her little pager or whatever. But seeing what she could do that was outside a pharmacy, like that was really cool.
Yeah, showing that she actually really cared about her patients and their family. That's awesome, dude.
So ambulatory care is like I'm still learning. But I've heard at least from some people, like that's one of the pharmacy routes that has like the most like patient care interaction. And like I love like old people. I mean, I love old people, but like I love kids, you know. So it's like very hard, hard. Like you can only pick one, you know, kind of. Or you can go pediatric ambulatory care, but you know. So I'm still figuring that all out. Hopefully, gonna shadow people in these next few years because a lot of like professors at MCP are ambulatory care pharmacists, so hopefully.
Yeah, I really liked how you took such an initiative to actually slide in the DMs professionally, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah, that's actually a really great method because I usually, back when I was your age and stuff, I used to like cold email all the time, but we have LinkedIn nowadays. Why not use that? That's so much easier.
Yeah, it's like a social media, but professional.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Do you currently work there as well?
Boston Children's? No. I volunteer there. Like I'm an inpatient inpatient volunteer, but I just started I think like in October at Boston Medical Center at their.
Oh, awesome. How did you get that?
I just applied like a bunch of times. I think I applied to like 3 jobs and finally, you know, in like intern practice management, I was like, you know, because I worked at Rite Aid my second semester. Yeah. And like, you know, it's hard working, you know, because I have like a work study job and like being an RA, but it's hard working and balancing school, you know, and I learned that a lot this semester because school is really hard. But in IPM, like intern to practice management, they're always like pushing us and like always telling us like, oh, like you should get work job experience, like this is the time. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, no, I really feel like I have to get a job. So like I just applied, and then when I got it, like school is rough, but I was like, I don't know if I'll get this opportunity again.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love how like proactive you are about everything. You don't like just sit, twiddle your fingers and like, yo, I'll just figure out my last year of school, whatever, you know.
Right, yeah.
You're really putting in the work right now to make sure you have all those connections, and just more than just the connections, it's just like to experience the full pharmacy school experience, you know. And being an intern is a great time in life because people are more willing to like take you under the wing because they know you're exploring, and who doesn't want to help an intern, man? Right,
that's true. There's a few graduates from MCP, so that's very interesting.
A few graduates from MCP.
Yeah. Oh, a lot. Actually,
and especially like that's one of the easiest ways to connect with people. Be like, hey, we went to the same school. Easy, done. You know, common topic there. Topic there, right?
Right. Yeah. That's true.
I think that's really cool that you reached out, but also like you're very active on campus and whatnot, like with APHA and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your like club experience and all that sort of stuff. And what made you do it?
I told you about like my first APHA of event, right? That video. So
Tell me about it.
The video. So basically, I had to wear a white coat, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just a freshman. Like, I'm wearing a white coat. What the heck? I was like, are you sure? They're like, just wear it. I'm like, okay. But it was cool because you can, I think it was like for a contest or whatever. But it was basically, I think each person talked about like different aspects of pharmacy. Like what pharmacists can do. I don't really remember exactly what was said, but it was really cool. And I don't know, I just met like a lot of great people from APHA. I think APHA, it's been a club. It's a club that I've been in since like freshman year.
Yeah.
So and like this past semester, I went to like Maine for like a regional conference, and that was really cool. I think I applied for a regional position because my amazing president was like, you should, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was like me and my friend, we stayed up like really late finishing the application, and like we had to make a speech in front of everyone, a bunch of strangers, and like do a test. So it was very intense.
Well, what kind of test? What kind of test is it?
It was basically like the laws and all these different rules that it comes with being like an officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we wasn't gonna get it, but it was kind of disappointing. But it was just like a really good experience, and like just having like our whole chapter like root for us, and like I think our chapter won like the most awards for like I don't know what the category is, but basically there's a bunch of different like divisions in APHA, like Operation Diabetes, or like
there's different initiatives, right?
And we won like, and you submit like a report, I believe, like every year, and we won like I think like 4 or 5 awards, so that was really cool. It's just cool because you meet a lot of like very inspiring people, and like I got to meet a lot of new people from my school.
Who inspired you? Like tell me about the people that inspire you.
They just have a very good heart, and like they always like motivate me and encourage me. Like a lot of upperclassmen, it's and there's a few that are in ACCP, and like definitely those who are like RAs with me, especially like my RA Christina. She's just people who they're just good people, and they care about people, and they always encourage me. Like I don't know why, but they just always encourage me, and they always like kind of open up like doors for me, which is like really cool. Yeah. And I know like even during my bad days, I'm stressed out about school, like they always encourage me that like this is not the end, like I might not be like reaching the goal that I wanted, but there's like different doors open. So
yeah. As you're talking to, I'm thinking about my own pharmacy school experience and like the best things I ever got out of it. And definitely for me, one of the best things I ever got was actually the relationships, my friendships. Like, dude, some of my pharmacy friends, we are like, those are some of my best friends that I've ever made in my whole life, dude. And we're still close to this day, man. And so it's awesome. But just like you, I mean, a lot of us, we had moments where we're like, man, I just want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to drop out and just do something else. But then like when you have a bunch of people being like, hey, like you wanted to do this for a reason. What was that reason? And just try to support you and just be there for you and just talk, that was like, that meant the world during those lowest points, man.
Yeah. And I think especially since we're from the West Coast, we don't have like, we can't go run home to mommy. like,
you don't got the good Asian food, man.
Exactly. So
or your family or your whole support system, man. By the way, how was it just like living away from home?
So my freshman year, it was different. Obviously like living with like roommates, but it was cool. Like it was a really good experience. I think freshman year you learn a lot. Yeah. And then the next 2 years, like last year I was an RA and this year I'm an RA. So it's every year, you have different residents. And I feel like being an RA, it's like, I love it. It's a great job, like mentoring people, but it's very different. Like it's not, like you don't have your friends there. Like I wish I had my friends to like wake me up, but you kind of hold like a responsibility to make sure that you're like a good role model and like good mentor to your residents.
Higher standard, right?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What made you want to become an RA, by the way?
So my RA, well, I have 2 RAs, but one of my RAs, Christina, she's like, we're still like super close. So she was one of the first people that I saw. And So MCP has like 4 orientations, and like the 4th one is like for international students or for those who live like far away, like, you know, us in California. And she was one of the first people, and mind you, I never visited the school before I went to MCP. So I had this very negative perception. This is before orientation. So
you're like, it's a jail cell.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna hate it. There's no sports.
Yeah.
You know, but I still remember, like, we saw her in the hallway, me and my dad, and like, we never went to Boston. We don't know where to eat. You know what I mean? Like, we were in a hotel for like a night. You know, so we knew, you know, we just like walked to a random place, but near MCP, we're like, we don't know where to go, and so she walked us to like, I don't even know what they say, Almondo's or whatever, Almondo's, whatever it's called. Yeah. So, you know, she was like nice enough to do that, and she's just always been, since freshman year, like just always been very supportive and encouraging of me. Yeah. So yeah, and I met a lot of RAs like my freshman year that really inspired me. So, and I just love it. Like, you get to meet a lot of different people, and yeah, like my bosses are great. Like, I tell them, like, I talk to them about a lot of things, so it's good. A good support system too.
Yeah, it's like passing on the torch, man. Yeah, it was some of the most rewarding thing, because like, it's kind of like you get to spread on that positivity, all those cool lessons that you learned, that people, and pass it on and really comfort someone else in your life. And it's just really rewarding that. Yeah. Let me ask you this, like, let's shift gears. Like, what's a day in the life of a pharmacy student? What is it like? Tell me.
Oh, let's see. Hopefully you wake up for your class on time.
Sounds like somebody struggles with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of late for my 8 a.m. final. So you should not pull all-nighters or try to pull an all-nighter. Oh, not good.
Wait, so what happens? So you just like...
I guess I'll just, right. Okay, so it was my pharmaceutics final. It literally just happened like 2 weeks. But I was late, and I literally... So our teacher posted like what a Zoom assignment we're in. And it just wasn't working on my phone. And I was like, I just need to go to my final. And then so I walked to a random room, and I was like, is this T for Tran? To the proctor, because, you know, like, it's A to L or whatever, like, you know, MV. Yeah. And I'm like, she's like, what? I'm like, is this T for Tran? Yeah. And she's like, you're here to take the test? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I know she wanted to laugh in my face, but she was like super nice, and she's like, okay, let me just, you know, I had to see if the teacher's okay with it. But luckily I was able to take it. Like, obviously I didn't get docked, and like, you know, it was just like I didn't get a lot of time. Yeah. But, you know, I've learned.
Dang, that's so funny. So you wake up for your class, and then what's the rest of the day like?
Get food, because, you know, if you didn't get breakfast, that's
how long do your classes usually, like, on I know it varies each day depending what class you have and whatnot, but like on a typical day, how long does a class run in the morning? Because it's usually back to back to back, right?
Right, yeah. Some will be like 15 minutes, some will be like an hour and 50. And like those, you know, teacher will usually give you a break. Yeah. Right. But after that, you know, you usually eat, and then hang out with friends, and then just try to study. And then sometimes I'll have like RA meetings, or...
Don't you have afternoon? Do you have afternoon classes too, or is it just morning?
We have... I feel like mine were a lot in the morning, but we usually have like labs. Labs are in the afternoon. Yeah, I had like labs in the afternoon. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays, I had like healthcare delivery, which is like 1:30. Yeah, so those in the afternoons. But like 2 to 3 classes a day.
Oh man.
And the rest of the day is yours, I guess.
Dude, for us it was hella brutal. It was like from 8 to like 5, sometimes 6, dude. Like we would go back to back to back. But that's because we're a 3-year school, so we have to cram everything in, right? So
that's crazy. Wait, it sounds like oh wow.
On our breaks, we would actually hit up the gym all the time. Like it was right across the street. So me and my friends, we would just go to the gym, like do a quick workout, and then get back in time for our class, and then finish up the rest of the day. But
wow. Wait, so it was a 3 year, so you were in Worcester for only 3 years?
Huh?
You were in Worcester for only 3 years?
2 years and 10 months. Yes, 3 years basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Oh wow, because like some people at my school, you know, they start off in the 0 to 6 program, but
Yeah.
I think either they're a second year or third year, and they'll transfer over to Worcester to do the 5 years.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Dang. Wow.
But you know, like I think it's okay to just take your time too. You know, with farm
Yeah.
school, like, yeah, it's cool to be like, yeah, I did my Pharm D in 5 years. But at the end of, like, when you're in my shoes, like, no one cares, dude.
Right.
No one cares. And it's more worth it to take that extra time to build those relationships, get more experiences and all that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm always jealous of like the PA students, so they get like a bachelor's with their, and then they can, you know, apply to PA school. But it's nice because then with a bachelor's, they can, you know, apply to different grad schools, not just PA. Like if they want to apply to med school, like, you know, maybe a public health school, you know, so.
That's actually a good point. Like, you know why I did a bachelor's instead of just, I got into a 0-6 program too, but you know why I didn't do it? It was because I was so scared I would fail out. So if I failed, I would have like some sort of backup plan or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. But looking back on it, I wish I just like did a 0-6 to pharmacy school. It would have been a lot easier, you know?
What did you get your bachelor's in? And like where?
I went to the school called Worcester Polytech, WPI. It's out in it's right near MCP Worcester actually. It's right down the street.
Wait, so you really like Massachusetts?
Well, I'm born and raised in Massachusetts, man. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh right, and then you moved to SoCal. Right.
Yeah, because I couldn't find a job, so that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm thinking that you were like from SoCal for whatever reason, and I've watched your videos before. What the heck? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty funny. But yeah, that's the whole reason why. That's one of the reasons why I went to MCP Worcester was, one, because it was quicker, two, I knew the area and it wasn't that far away from my family. So if I wanted to see them, I could, you know?
Nice. Oh my God. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's a little insight of why I like my pharmacy experience, classes and stuff like that. Let's see. What else? I feel like I'm missing something in your life, dude. Like, I remember like going through your like Facebook and doing all this research. I'm like blanking out. Is there anything else that you're doing right now in pharmacy school? So we talked about your RA, we talked about your experience at Haiti, talked about APHA, we talked. Wow, you have so many freaking accomplishments, man. You won a bunch of awards though too. Like, didn't you like specifically win an award or something recently?
Oh, recently?
Yeah. No.
I mean, I won like member of the month for like APHA. That's why I said like, before this whole video, but how like ever since high school, I've always put like extracurriculars before school, which is not good.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to make sure I put school, because I know like if I don't have school and my academics in check, then I can't do anything else. But like in high school, I founded like my own like club, and it's with the nonprofit Room to Read. So basically,
nonprofit what?
It's called like Room to Read.
Oh, Room to Read.
It's not my own, but like I made it a high school club. Yeah. And we did like book drives, and we had a literacy mentoring program. Yeah. And like we sent like, I think it was 1,000 books to like a library in Sierra Leone. So I basically had like a bunch of books. It was like we did like a book drive at my school, and then we had a bunch of books that were all in my garage, so we had to like box and everything. I had my friends help me. So that was always put in mind like prior to like school, which is not good, but I'm learning.
But it makes you feel like the impression I get from you is that it makes you feel like you have a lot of purpose and that you're really giving out to the world. How did that start? Like from a little kid, did your parents, like, did your mom or dad do it a lot? Where did you like first notice this like real drive to really help people?
I think just because both of my parents, they both don't have a college degree, and they just have like a high school diploma, and they're both immigrated from Vietnam, and they're just very selfless people. Yeah. So I think, it's like cliche, but it's a cliche story, but I think that's pretty kind of how.
When you say selfless people, like, what do you exactly mean by that?
They always like kind of. So I have two younger brothers, and they always like push. You know, like you want to get a college degree, and like just seeing how they treat other people. It's always with like kindness, and like they always kind of put like my mom, like she doesn't like going shopping for herself. Like, you know, like she only likes to go shopping like if she's about to go a vacation, which is very rare. Like we went to we went to Jamaica last summer, and that's when she's like, oh, I'm gonna get something. And I was like, okay. But she's always like, if she's going to the mall, she's buying, you know, clothes for me or like my brothers. It's never for like herself, you know.
I think that's pretty Asian. Like my mom is like the same exact way. Like, dude, if like she always makes sure that we're always taken care of first before her and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of really heartwarming to see somebody cares about you so much. You know, it makes you want to care about other people too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think family has to do a lot with it. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna wrap this up then, because I can't think of anything. Honestly, I can't think of anything to talk about. But
hopefully this helps people.
Yeah, if you like, last thing, if you're to give advice to people that are interested in farms. Oh, how about this? How did you go about selecting your pharmacy schools too when you were applying?
Well, again, I didn't really originally want to go to pharmacy school.
But you said you applied to a whole bunch of pharmacy schools, right?
I did.
So how did you go about selecting it?
I think for one of them, they're like, we want a Skype interview. And I was like, no, because I wasn't feeling pharmacy school. Right. And like, it was easy. MCP was easy because my aunt already went there. Yeah. So, and like now I have a younger cousin. He's a freshman and he's from Texas, but he's at MCP. Yeah. And he's my resident too, which is
wait. So was MCP MCP wasn't the only school that you applied to? Like,
right. I think I applied to like University of the Sciences. But like again, my aunt literally gave me a list of like, these are the pharmacy schools you apply to, and I was like, okay, I'll apply to all of these. Right.
So how do you go about, like, so your aunt hands you this list, you apply to all of them, some of them like accept you, some of them don't probably. How do you go about choosing, like, filtering the ones that you want to go to or whatever?
I think my aunt, she just pushed FP. She's like, it's Boston, it's a college town, you know. It's like. So I was like, okay.
Sorry, I'll force you.
Yeah, because I feel like regardless, like if I were to like decide to go to University of the Sciences, she would have been like pushing Boston. Yeah. Because like all the other schools, like, you know, I always thought I was going to stay in California, you know, and I majored in like, I put down my major as like psychology or public health. And I got to like a few UCs here, you know, some state schools that I could have gone to that were either psychology or public health, but I didn't really know. Like I always wanted to be a teacher. You know, and I still want to, like, hopefully, like.
Do you want to do academia and stuff in the future?
That's what people were like, oh, you should do like academia. I look into residencies. I'm like, I definitely would want to do academia, like, in residencies, but I don't know how I feel about teaching college students.
Yeah. Because it's not the same as like, because I remember you saying earlier, you're like, you have this really strong passion about teaching, like, or not teaching, but helping kids out.
Right, yeah. So I love like helping kids, like, you know, they're so cute and everything. But even like high school students, like I love, like my high school teachers, they have like a huge impact on me, and it's just really cool, I think, like kind of like inspiring people and just encouraging students to like follow like whatever they're passionate about. And, you know, obviously like it's high school, so like people have different passions, and that's really cool. Yeah. You know, it's different. Like at MCP, everyone has like a healthcare passion, which is awesome. But, you know,
Did you, like when you're in high school, did you struggle with like sort of when you say being inspired or anything like that, are there any like role models that really, like specific role models that really inspired you, and if they did, how did they inspire you
in high school?
Yeah. Because you keep on you say like, oh yeah, I met a lot of people that really motivated and inspired me.
Right. I think in college, in high school, I can't really, besides like my teachers, I don't really know. In high school, I don't really remember. Yeah. It's been a long time, I feel like. Besides my teachers, I can't think of anyone. Yeah. Like, obviously, you meet like really nice people, but Yeah, because I didn't. It's hard because I still think that like in high school it's really hard. Like I feel like high school is pretty hard. Like you have because I remember basically having school all day, and then after that I'd have track practice, and then to come home around like 7 and 8 to do homework. Like what? Like at least in college, like that's why I feel like some people find college a little easier or harder or whatever. But at college, like you have a little bit more time because you don't have classes at least all day. At least the first 2 years of pharmacy school.
Yeah, there's like more flexibility of like the coursework, like your schedule and stuff. Like with school, like I remember high school was like hell for me, man. Like I spent like I took 11 APs and whatnot, and I was just like back to back to back to back. And then like I go swim practice, and then I have to do homework, and I'm up all night, and then I'm tired the next day because I stayed up all night. It was like a vicious cycle, man.
Yeah. And then and then at what, like 17, I think I turned 18 in my first year at MCP. So like 17, like determining what you want to do for the rest of your life, like that's hard. I think that's why going to MCP was like very hard, right? Because like I didn't know if like pharmacy was for me. So that's why getting involved in clubs was so important to me, and like it's so important to me. So yeah. Yeah,
I think you bring up a good point because MCP is known as a health science school. You don't go there for like English major or anything like that. It's very specialized into the health sciences and stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like it's not like going to a big university, like you don't have that many options, and even if you do, they're not well known for the other options. Yeah.
Right.
What if you're to choose like another career other than pharmacy, what would it be? You said teacher earlier, but
I said teacher. Yeah. I really like psychology, so like I feel like
psychology teacher.
No, like a counselor.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be a good counselor, hopefully.
Yeah.
If I were to choose that, yeah.
Finally, is there any last words of advice? Maybe there's like people watching this who are interested in pharmacy school, or like, they're in pharmacy school but not really feeling it. Like any words of advice for them? What to do or anything like that?
I feel like, at least for me, I always feel like, did I make the right choice? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously I didn't have like full control over my choice, or, obviously, it wasn't a
You're heavily influenced.
I was heavily influenced. That's a good way to say it. I was like, I don't remember. I was like, I don't even know where I could have gone to the UC Santa Barbara for psychology.
Yeah.
But it's hard because at least I'd say for like high school, if those in high school are watching, it's like explore your choices and like don't. I was like, people are always telling me like, UC Santa Barbara is like a party school. But I'm like, why didn't I figure that out myself? Like, why did I have to be told that? You know what I mean? Like, like I feel like it's always important to like, if you can, to try to visit the school and see if it's for you, because like I went to it kind of blind, like I'd never visited MCP, so but I think like when you're in pharmacy school and you're kind of struggling, or like trying to stay motivated or whatever, you're just feeling discouraged, I think like the best thing, especially for me being at school in the East Coast, is like making sure you have a very good like friend group. Like a few days ago, I was like, oh my God, like, especially because this semester was like really rough. But they always, like, my friends, I think, motivate me. And I think it's the people at MCPHS that help me like stay sane basically, and like help me stay encouraged. So make sure you have a good friend group. And like for me, I know at least it's like hard for me to sometimes like ask for help.
Yeah. Oh my God. I suffer from the same thing too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know like for me, like physics, I never took it in high school last year, and I had to withdraw from the class my first semester last year. I was like, oh my God, I'm failing. I can't do this. And then so I just asked for help, and the next semester, and I got like a B+ in the class. So definitely, it's hard. Like I still struggle with it, but like, don't be afraid to ask your peers for help, so.
Yeah, most of them want to help you too. They want to see you at the end of the finish line during graduation. Sorry, one last thing came to mind. Knowing what you know now, would you choose to go to a 06 program, or would you rather do like the bachelor and then 3-4 years after with the graduate program?
If I could make the choice with no heavy influence.
Yeah, no, you don't have your Asian aunt like bearing down on you. These are schools that you apply to. No, you're just going to MCP. None of that. Like, if you're to go back in time, knowing what you know now, like,
if you're watching this, Auntie, I love you.
No, she doesn't. She's traumatized. Look at this girl's face, man. She's traumatized. Auntie, you traumatized this girl.
I honestly feel like it's a lot. I feel like, honestly, there's some people that are just, they just go into pharmacy school, and some just don't. I don't know if don't have a purpose. They just like I'll ask people, I'm like, so what do you want to do in pharmacy? And they'll be like, you know, in their pretty high years, like up, you know, maybe like 4th, 5th, you know, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, how do you know? Like, for me, at least, like, I have to know. I'm a big planner. I have to know, like, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. But so back to your question, I definitely would have got a bachelor's, because, you know, like, I have a cousin who's like, she's doing a bachelor's in dance, and she wants to she's minoring in public health, and she wants to be like a social worker, which is like amazing. You know what I mean? Like, you can get a bachelor's in whatever. Yeah. And then if you have the correct like prereqs, then you can like apply to as many like grad schools as you want.
Dude, I knew someone in my class. One person graduated from accounting and they were in my pharmacy program. Another person did fashion.
Wow.
And she was in my class. So like,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I'm like, what the heck? That's so crazy. You're doing an unrelated major, like it's not even bioscience, but she did really, really well in our program too, which tells you, like, you know, like, honestly, you can take the time to explore. You shouldn't feel so pressured all the time, you know, just to do something that's related, you know, as long as you, like, you're right. As long as you do prereqs or go to like a really easy school like MCP, then you're good, man. Easy. Mic drop. No, when I say easy, I mean like easy admission, not the program. Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah. Definitely. That's true.
No, they don't even require the PCAT, man.
Dude, I know. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, dude, honestly, it's been great having you on, and hopefully we can throw you on again, like when as the further you get along. I think it'd be really cool to see your progression in farm school, since this is your first professional year, man. So awesome. Yeah. Thanks you so much. Huh?
Thanks for having me on here.
Of course, man. Do you want to drop anything, social media, anything like that?
Oh, sure. Okay, so my Instagram.
I'll throw it down. I'll throw everything in the description. I'll have a little thing on for your Instagram or whatnot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's Alicia_Tran. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Wow, Alicia Tran. Okay, gotcha.
So original.
Alicia Tran. Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And then we'll see you guys next time. Peace.